Hey, Uncle Mark.
Yes. Hello, Uncle Dan.
You work in the pretty art industry. You try to
Yes,
make
well-
you try to make the world visually nice.
That's part of my job, and you also work in the arts.
Yeah,
Of course. In
I'm
the
not a
theater
visual.
arts.
I'm not a visual artist though. And how I have so much respect for you visual artists who are able to create something for a feast for our eyes. And I think Uncle Doug, you're going to tell us about someone else who
Yeah.
has that
Yes.
beautiful ability.
Prepared to have that streak broken.
A feast for your rage, I think is.
A bitter, disgusting feast.
Well,
Yes.
indeed. There's so many awful subjects we have to cover on this show that I thought for a change we could binge on some empty carbs and discuss the ever-expanding and ever more deranged oeuvre of Utah-based artist and comedy delight, Jon McNaughton.
Jon McNaughton.
He's a peach.
Although he's been painting for years, he has of late been called the Trump administration's unofficial artist.
Yeah.
Oh well, Hitler got Leni Riefenstahl, President Trump gets Jon McNaughton.
Or as I like to call him, Mormon Rockwell.
It's perfect.
Oh my God. Okay. So, who is Jon McNaughton? He was born in Mesa, Arizona in 1967 and then moved to Orem, Utah in 1983.
Lateral
our-
move.
Yeah.
Lateral move.
For our Nevermo listeners, Orem is the Medina of Mormonism. After an quote-unquote art degree from BYU and a failed attempt at selling annuities to gullible Mormons, this is true, a mysterious and unnamed benefactor, a quote, former executive from the Ford Motor Company, infused John with enough capital to follow his dream.
Oh,
Yeah, there's
where do
this-
you get one of those?
I know, right? There's this free book available, ebook available on his website that tells his story and explains in great detail some of his art. Do not read this ebook.
for a guy who tried to sell annuities, putting a free book online, he is
know, right?
kind of a financial whiz.
Yeah, I read the majority of this book. Do not do it.
Okay.
In the early 2000s, he began painting mostly pretty mediocre landscapes and then some religious, mostly biblical content. Until 2008, that is, when the unspeakable happened. And
Yes.
Jon McNaughton made the decision that he could no longer sit on the sidelines. No, now he would sit on the sidelines and pump out some of the most comically heavy-handed and ham-fisted glimpses into the frenetic conservative religious mind we're ever likely to get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was. So let's just say subtlety was not his game. He was not into the into the mixed messaging.
Not
He's-
part of his...
He's the
Yeah.
John of Patmos of Mormon painting,
Exactly.
right?
So now I recommend going to his website and perusing his work. So if you want to follow along at home, go to johnmcnaughton.com, dim the lights, open a nice bottle of Beaujolais, put on Ravel's Bolero, and get ready for some high octane crazy.
Bolero.
If contemplating
God.
Picasso's Guevara could be considered a high watermark for politically motivated art meant to evoke a response, then viewing McNaughton's art is equivalent to blasting across the Alkali Flats, strapped to the hood of a jet-powered, monkey-navigated nitro funny car, while loudspeakers blast Sean Hannity and Humunculus tells the people of the refinery to leave the gasoline and walk away. Just walk away.
I don't even know if I understood any
I
of
am
that.
so proud of that. Reference is a combination of Homer Simpson's wedding vows and the plot for Road Warrior.
Wow. Okay. Good.
Yeah, it was
I'm
bound
great.
to happen. It was that crossover was coming. It was bound to happen.
So,
Which sounds just like one of his paintings, actually.
exactly.
So.
Yes.
That's exactly right. McNaughton's art has been critically acclaimed around the world. Wait, sorry, I read that wrong. Has been universally panned and laughed off the wall by tax hiking, government expanding, latte drinking, sushi eating, Volvo driving, New York Times reading, body piercing, Hollywood loving liberal critics from around the world.
Yeah.
But do you know who has a very high opinion of Jon McNaughton's work?
John McNaughton?
I'll give you, I'll give you one. Yes. Here's how John describes himself on his website and in his ebook. Quote, Jon McNaughton is an established artist from Utah. Okay.
Great.
Way to sell it. Whose new paintings have attracted the international attention of millions over the last few years. And
That is true.
Is true.
that's true. And quote, Jon McNaughton is the most talked about conservative artist in America today. All right.
Maybe.
He goes on to ask, is
Well, I mean, it depends on whether you want to call Scott Baio an artist.
All I'm
there's a
saying
lot.
is, in this particular sentence, the phrase "conservative artist" is a complete phrase, and not those aren't two different descriptors. He's talking about a category,
it's specific.
which is conservative artists.
So
Right.
he goes on to ask, is it possible that something as simple as a painting can make a difference? Most people are visual learners. These paintings are filled with fine details, carefully thought out metaphors and symbols
Yes.
that add to the
Carefully
viewer's
thought out.
experience. Yes, just wait till we grapple with these nuanced metaphors.
I love the concept of something as simple as a painting, because he doesn't go for simple.
Simplicity and nuance are not part of his work.
Yeah.
For our purposes today, I have broken his work into 3 periods: his kind of patriotic pre-Obama days, his Obama period, and his Trump period. So let's have a look at some of his art before we dive into his Obama and Trump periods.
It's always a special time when a girl gets her first period.
Now, on his website, for some of these more populated works, there is an interactive function where you can hover over the faces and get their name and some biographical information.
Yeah.
And that's really the best kind of art, where you need also a digital key to understand just what the fuck is going on.
Right.
His
Really?
descriptions and explanations are equal parts voluminous and totally unnecessary.
Let me tell you something. If any of our listeners has any prowess in web development at all and is willing to put in the time, I will create the content with them, and we will take all of Da Vinci's work and hover over it with similar explanations, or all of the famous masters.
All of Da Vinci's work. I don't
We
think
will-
you know what you're getting yourself into,
Well,
buddy.
all 8 of his paintings or whatever. He only did
Okay.
like 11 paintings. I won't get into the drawings, the drawings.
So let's see if we can parse the nuance and penetrate the dense metaphorical world he has created.
Oh my goodness, we're in trouble.
Let's start with One Nation Under God. This is one of his most famous paintings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we have Jesus Christ showing off the Constitution.
Just standing in the middle of the painting.
Yeah,
Is it Jesus Christ? I think it's more Kenny Loggins, to be honest.
there's a whole tableau of randos around him. You've got your various and sundry political figures, along with, from his website, a pregnant woman looking over at a disabled child saying to herself, "I want to keep my baby."
What?
This is from the website. These are characters in the painting.
Yeah.
We have a liberal professor clinging to his copy of On the Origin of Species.
Yeah, you should mention that he has segregated people out
Right.
into various groups. So you're now in the bottom right portion of
Bottom
the page.
right quadrant of
Let's
this.
let's assign some just broad terms. I would say that group we can just call probably
Evil.
Jews.
Well, funny you should say that. There is also the greedy lawyer counting
Yep.
his mad stacks of cash. No hint of anti-Semitism there. Don't worry.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's not like he looks Jewish at all.
Jesus. We've got a smug-looking Mr. Entertainment, formerly Mr. Hollywood. He changed the name for some reason.
Probably because he put Hollywood into the name of one of the. Didn't he put Hollywood into the name of
Oh,
one of the other
probably.
guys?
We're going to see that his talent for painting is only matched by his talents for naming his paintings.
Because you mentioned that there was in your notes to us
Yeah.
that there is also liberal Hollywood professor. Now you tell me what the hell that means.
Oh, that's in another one. That's right.
Oh,
Oh, God. Okay. We also have a slanted liberal reporter who's apparently, according to the website, asking the pregnant woman, is she really going to keep her baby?
What the fuck does that have to like? Is that a question lawyers ask people? Like, what the fuck is this?
now
Idiot?
I'm sure you're going to get to who's flanking. You said various political figures.
Oh, yeah.
They're not current political figures.
No, well-
we've got Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson. We've got George Washington. We've got Abraham Lincoln. And I love that Abe Lincoln is looking at the the downright
Evil group.
evil group with his arms out. He's on his knee. He's taking a knee and he's looking at them like, "The fuck are you guys doing?"
Mammy.
And then John Adams is next to him going, "Look, it's Jesus. Aren't you looking?"
I know. There's Ronald Reagan's always in there.
yeah.
Abraham, John Adams. These guys have such a founding father fetish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's a little boy pointing to the 3/5 clause in the Constitution. That's very spirit. I really appreciate that poignant moment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's move on to Justice for All. This is another extremely populist tableau. In the center, we have Moses.
Yeah.
He's in the center of the frame. He's surrounded by various important lawgivers from history, including, as we mentioned, George Washington, Ronald Reagan, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, et al.
The
I count
standard
39.
cast.
I count 39 people in this
Yeah,
painting.
they start to go into the esoteric, like Border Patrol agent Brian Terry, who was killed by Mexican gangsters with weapons supposedly acquired from the Fast and Furious scandal. We have sniper Chris Kyle of American Sniper
Oh
fame.
my God.
Antonin Scalia and Clarence Thomas, both now deceased. And no?
No.
You sure? All right.
Yeah,
I
I
was
think
gonna
someone
say.
should check on Clarence. Someone should check on
Yeah,
Clarence.
Clarence might be still humming.
We've got Condoleezza Rice in there because she's one of the good ones.
Yeah.
Then there are the downright fucking upsetting ones like Sally Ride, a Native American in full eagle feather garb named Indian Nations, a nameless slave, and Harriet Tubman. Why not?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And all standing in front of the Acropolis? What are they standing in front of?
Yeah, I don't know.
Supreme Court. That's the Supreme Court.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
If you're not pissed off enough already, I can toss in Billy Graham and Phyllis Schlafly in this. Group of people.
Yay.
Yay.
So many good people.
Harriet Tubman and Indian Nations are two, things that conservatives have always championed.
Right, yes,
They've
exactly.
really always been part of boostering that.
Yeah.
Cultural and historical appropriation are certainly a talent that Jon McNaughton has.
Help me out on this one
Yeah.
before we move on. In the very, very bottom of the frame on the right, there's an old lady holding a thing. What is that? Do you have any idea what she's holding?
Is it her back turned to us?
No. That's a baby. The woman
She's got like a
she's
piece of bread or
facing
something.
us,
Oh.
and it looks like she's holding a human brain.
Yeah, I didn't write down who she was. She has a name, and she's some
Okay.
historical figure that didn't matter enough to mention.
It was a tumor that was removed.
She's holding a tumor. It's not a tumor. So let's move on. If you're oh shoot, I lost my thread here. Do you ever wonder what Jon McNaughton decided to paint in the era of mass shootings and police violence? Well, wonder no more
Gosh.
with Stand Your Ground.
Yes.
We have a beefy white man holding.
And lady stand your ground.
Yeah, that's Take Your Stand. So it's
Oh.
basically the same picture with one woman and one man each holding Old Glory in their left.
Yeah.
And the man is holding an AR-15 in the other hand. That's right, the weapon of choice by nearly all school shooters, because that's who
Yep.
this fucking guy is.
Right.
And it must be mentioned that the woman is holding a SIG 5.56, because misidentifying a gun to these people is tantamount to getting their kids' gender wrong.
Right.
So sorry, black people, you don't get any guns.
Right.
Nope.
The-
No,
both
that
of them
would be crazy.
Both of them also have a sidearm attached to
Oh,
their
that's
hip.
true. Yeah, they do.
I'm just going to point that
Yeah.
out in case they run out of the big bullets.
Yeah.
Freedom isn't free, Dan.
No, those bullets are expensive.
Well, let's move on to the Obama period and start with
God.
the Forgotten Man.
Oh.
Yeah.
The Forgotten Man's going to be a recurring character in McNaughton's work, and he guesses as to his race.
Yeah, I was going to say,
One.
it feels like he skipped a word.
Oh, it is the long-established opinion of this podcast that it's pretty hard out there for a white man.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
We have the white man sitting on a park bench while Obama stands nearby, literally standing on the Constitution.
Yes, his arms
Yeah.
are folded and he's gazing sternly off into the distance.
Yeah,
and one of our founding fathers, I'm not sure which one, is that John Adams?
It is James Madison.
James Madison, crouching down, indicating to the Constitution, like, what are you doing? Look, it's right there. What are you doing? You're standing on it.
And why? What is there a particular meaning to why Obama is staring steadfastly in such a strange direction? Is he looking toward Kenya?
No, that's got to be true, right?
He's
gotta be
facing
looking
Mecca.
he's got to be looking east.
Yeah, Mecca.
So McNaughton's quote for when you hover over Obama, it says, "Mr. President, what have you done?"
Oh my God, I love it. And here's what I really love about this: unlike the previous paintings, except for the two soldiers holding their assault rifles, there was always at least one, probably two, black faces in the crowd that were meant to be good people.
Right.
There are no black faces in this crowd.
There's a reason for that. That crowd is made up of all 44 presidents.
Oh,
And they are standing, and this is true, left to right, depending on their views of taxation.
oh my God!
Fuck off.
I'm not kidding.
Fuck off.
And there's money strewn on the ground.
Of course, there's just money.
And there's a very sad white guy sitting on a park bench being ignored by everyone except or rather being ignored only by Mr. Obama.
Yeah, exactly.
After he has had literally centuries of being treated great by all of these other presidents.
Tell you, no one knows what it's like. If you're a fan of subtlety, these next three works are for you. We have a trio of paintings that really sum up his Obama period.
I don't remember. I don't remember the second one.
Okay. We have One Nation Under Socialism, featuring Obama holding and pointing to a burning constitution.
Yeah.
Oh, the metaphor.
As if to say, in case you didn't notice, it's on fire.
Right. We have The Demise of America, featuring Obama fiddling while Washington burns in the background.
Yeah, he's literally
sitting on a is that a folding
It's like a
fishing
folding
chair?
chair.
Or
Yeah.
no, it's like one of the chairs that you see in like an elementary school or something.
Right.
Yeah, and his look, those pant cuffs are not from that decade.
Well, there's
the
that.
bell bottoms that Obama's wearing.
Also, let's just be clear. Obama was a dapper enough gentleman that he knew to unbutton his jacket when he sat.
That's right.
That's right.
And now we have Obama's foreign policy, my favorite of this period.
Amazing.
We have a smiling Obama having just completed a jaunty golf swing. Also, the ball is still teed up in front of him, but that's quibbling.
Right.
With a nuclear mushroom cloud rising behind him.
And missiles inbound.
Yes, indeed. It's kind of amazing. What I love about this is that the golf swing is both beginning and ending at the same time.
Yeah.
His feet are in a position that can only indicate that he
Yes.
has just completed his swing, but the club is actually teed up to be swung. So, or actually he's left-handed, so maybe he did complete the swing and just missed the
You
ball.
have put
And
more
missed
thought
his
into
print.
this painting than Jon McNaughton did.
Remember, guys, when the greatest presidential sin was golfing too much? It
Oh my God.
was simpler times.
Do you remember
wasn't
when
it?
our current president completely criticized Obama for golfing too much? Do you remember when that happened?
Endlessly, yeah, endlessly.
That was cute.
Well, let's
Yeah.
close out the Obama period with this last one. Let's check in on the forgotten man, who has been transformed into the empowered man.
Yes.
He unburned it.
That's right. Here, the male equivalent of Meghan McCain holds aloft the Constitution as Obama cowers in fear, and the founding fathers rejoice.
I mean, Obama's kind of
my
doing this
God.
both hands up, but it's like but the look on his face is like, dude, just relax.
It looks like you waved garlic at a vampire.
Right. Well, the guy's probably empowered because he finally got fucking health care and got his diabetes taken care of. So now he's ready to be a right-wing Christian warrior against taxation.
That's right.
I love it. It's all makes sense.
All right.
It's amazing.
Let's jump into the Trump period. He really hits his stride here, serving up some really dense content.
Oh my God. It's amazing.
How about Trump wiping mud off a tattered flag on a football field in Respect the Flag?
Yeah.
Probably using it to wipe his dick off.
Oh my God.
Well, we can't see where the dick would be, so it's very, very possible.
How
You
about
gotta love the football field reference
Of
because,
course.
of course, this is a reference to the players taking knees during the national anthem.
Yeah.
and just it's such a strange vision of Trump just wiping dirt off a flag.
He's holding it to his chest
Yeah.
and then wiping the part in front. Like he's wiping it. He's using himself as I don't know. It's a very bizarre image.
Then we have Trump teaching a man to fish in the very interestingly named
Yes.
painting, "Teach a Man to Fish."
Yeah.
Trump, who surely has his only experience with the outdoors is on a golf course.
Exactly.
Which is
Never gone fishing in his life.
is made eminently clear by the fact that he is in full suit and tie for his fishing
Right.
He
trip.
couldn't even put him in a fishing jacket. Then we've got "Expose the Truth," showing
This is amazing.
Trump holding Robert Mueller by the tie and jamming a magnifying glass in his face.
Right.
Yes.
What's he trying to say?
As if to say, you need to do something about these pores.
Yeah. This tough guy, like, honestly, okay, I don't love war. I don't think we should do it. But Trump had bone spurs, which weren't real because a podiatrist was renting an office from his dad and he gave him free rent to
Yeah.
write that fucking certificate. And Robert Mueller hurt his knee playing lacrosse in college and worked with a doctor so he could qualify to go to Vietnam.
Where he earned a Bronze Star and a Purple Heart. Yep.
That's right. So I just want to get the tough guy narrative completely
Right.
Well,
correct.
and
here.
it persists in the Trump period because we have crossing the swamp. Here we have
This is
we have
amazing.
Trump like Washington crossing the Delaware,
Right.
standing erect, well, flaccid in a boat. Along for the ride are Ben Carson, Mike Pence, Melania and Ivanka,
Ben Carson.
Mike Pompeo, John Bolton,
Oh my God.
Kellyanne Conway, and Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Can I just say that John Bolton in this painting is my favorite thing that has ever happened
I know.
on a canvas in ever.
It's fantastic.
John Bolton,
It's such the crazy old man.
who already looks like, your uncle that you don't let the kids hang out with, but
Yeah.
now he's got a rifle in hand. Unlike Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who's actually rowing the boat, he's got a rifle in hand, looking out like, you're gonna, you get off my land, you bastards! I'll kill you all, you sons of
Totally.
bitches.
Not only does he look like
And-
he was just unmasked by Scooby and the gang,
Yes.
he's looking the wrong way with his gun.
Yeah. Well, there is that. And also, by the way,
Well,
they're
That's what he's always done, isn't it? John Bolton's always looking to the wrong country with his gun.
and the gator infested swamp that they're traversing is directly in front of the Capitol,
Yeah.
the national Capitol.
Who's holding the flag? Is that Pence? I
Probably.
think that's Pence. I think he's hiding his bonus.
Yeah,
because he
exactly
that way he
right.
stares at the back of Trump's head.
And Melania has her typical "I hate this man" look on her face, which I love.
Totally.
We've also
I'll tell you what. If you got to make your way through a swamp, I'll bet Sarah Huckabee Sanders is pretty useful.
I want her
I'll bet
pulling
she
my
knows what's
oars
up.
for show.
Yeah.
right.
She knows what's up.
She can wrestle and cook a gator in 30 seconds.
Oh my God, this next one is
I know. The next one is Trump playing old-timey football in
unbelievable.
All-American Trump, leaving Bernie Sanders, Chuck Schumer, and Joe Biden in the dust.
Which, by the way, if
Chuck
you're gonna
Schumer with his reading glasses on.
if you're gonna play football, leather helmeted old timey football against any three people, I'd put my wager against. Look, I am not in great shape, but you put those three up against me, and I will clobber them. So no great victory, on that front. But the look on Trump's face. Look, McNaughton's actually a decent technician with his paint.
Yeah, he can capture a likeness.
He does a good job.
yeah, he's good at getting a likeness.
In
yeah.
this one, nobody looks like anything.
I know.
He was half-assing this so fucking hard.
His art, honestly, in the Trump period, has taken a marked downward turn for real.
Yeah.
it's gotten much worse. And he like that earlier stuff. There was a little bit of kind of grandeur to it, and the light was decent,
Yeah.
but here the brushstrokes are just super inarticulate and smushy and
sloppy.
Yeah.
Trump looks like Biff from Back to the Future.
Exactly. Well,
It's hard for McNaughton to paint when he's orgasming this hard. I think.
my personal favorite of this period is one called National Emergency. Here we have Trump, head bowed in prayer, still somehow looking like he's never done it before,
Right.
with a weirdly tightly packed group of Democrats behind him, all standing on an American flag.
And holding a Mexican flag.
That's what I love. In this group, we have Bernie holding a Russian flag, Elizabeth Warren holding an EU flag, Nancy
EU, yeah.
Nancy and Chuck proudly holding a Mexican flag.
right.
Hillary's got an Iranian flag. Obama's got
Yeah.
a UN flag, and Maxine
Yeah.
Waters has a California flag.
The enemy California.
Right. And the crux of this one is that there is a horde of
Illegals.
illegals crossing the border
Yeah.
in the background.
Browns.
Well-
and Trump is staring compassionately at a lost baby doll on the
know.
ground. You see that
Oh
down there?
God, yes.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah. Because he cares so much for these children he's about to put in cages
right.
and sell to Christian adoption agencies, never to return to
Exactly.
their families.
And what modern Republican fever dream or sad orgasm would there be without AOC tossed in there? Where's
she's
she's in there. She's not holding a flag.
Oh, there she
yeah.
is. She's got there's a Palestinian flag back there.
Was
Maybe
she
she's on it.
added in later? I feel like she was.
Maybe she was. Okay, this most recent one, guys. This is the
fucking
one I saw
ridiculous.
online that made me think we should talk about old Jimmy McNaughton.
This one go.
I have no words.
It's very clear now that he has lost his fucking mind.
right.
Because this one, he's not making any political statement.
Nope.
He's not. There's no message here, other than just Trump. Woo!
It's called MAGA Ride.
Oh my God!
I can't describe it. I can't.
It is Trump on probably one of the last American-made Harley Davidsons after his economic policies have shut down their plant.
Right.
And a woman touching him So that can't be Melania.
Though
I don't know who that is.
Right.
So probably someone that Michael Cohen paid off.
it is Evel Knievel's bike. It is all red, star spangled and red, white, and blue, with a giant flag pole coming out the back of it with a flag attached. And do you notice that the front fender kind of shares, kind of looks like Trump's hair? It's the shape of Trump's hair.
It does have that wonderful little lilt at the back.
Look at the echo he put in the work. Yeah. I don't know if you can tell, but in the cracks in the road below it, it says MAGA.
Oh, it does say that. And
fuck off.
And I'm just going to point out that in the background there are all these people in the red hat, and that's got to be Kanye on the left.
It's Kanye.
No,
I was going to say, do you guys see Yeezy standing there?
That's got to be Kanye, and
it's totally Kanye.
And he's, I mean, he would never wear that vest thing, but
no,
that's Kanye. I love it. It's amazing. And again, driving in front of our nation's Capitol building.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the comedy of watching Donald Trump try to drive a motorcycle?
Oh my God.
Oh, please, someone get him to do it. Please, someone.
Like putting a little piglet on a bike and seeing if it could.
Wasn't there a time when Trump got into a truck and then didn't know what to do with it?
Yeah, I tell you,
he was so excited.
He looked like an Ewok on a speeder bike for sure. So what's weird about this is he does have some paintings about Mormon church history, but they're really disappointing. He has mostly landscapes depicting early church history sites like Adamon-Diamond, Nauvoo, Kirtland, St. George, but they're just middling landscapes. They're not really great. He only has 2 paintings that I could find from the Book of Mormon, a very poor depiction of Lehi's dream, and one of Mormon himself riding on the gold plates.
With a kid under his table.
Is there a kid under there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Moroni. That's young Moroni.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So that's it, right? Do we get Nephi crossing the Atlantic? Nope. Ammon chopping off bags of Lamanite arms? The Jaredite submarines? No. For some reason, this addled brain looked at the Book of Mormon and was like, it's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
or it's just not. It's not crazy enough.
Well, every now
the Trump thing is fulfilling his crazy.
Every now and then it feels a little too liberal.
Do you think that when he first saw Donald Trump, it was like that scene in Boogie Nights where Philip Seymour Hoffman sees Mark Wahlberg for the first time, and the iris just goes just right around him, and then he tries to imitate him for the rest of his life.
Oh my God,
that's what I think. There you go. That's what I think it's like.
So, if I had to critique the whole of McNaughton's work, I would probably quote Arthur Dent when forced at gunpoint to critique Prostetnik Vogon Jeltz's poetry. Quote, I thought that some of the metaphysical imagery was really particularly effective and interesting rhythmic devices, too, which seemed to counterpoint the surrealism of the underlying metaphor of the humanity of the artist's compassionate soul, which contrives through the medium of the composition to sublimate this, transcend that, and come to terms with the fundamental dichotomies of the other, and one is left with a profound and vivid insight into whatever it was this painting was about. So I'll just leave you with one last thing, this fantastic tidbit from his process. Quote, when I work on a painting with many figures, I usually pose models and photograph them and then paint them as I see them in my mind. So John, if you're listening, and I know you are, I want to be a character in one of your paintings.
Yes.
Surely you will have need of portly liberal podcaster.
Yeah, make us your horrible liberal atheists.
Yeah, I mean, if you need Vader without the mask, Uncle Mark is available. If you need surprisingly good transvestite, I'll put a word in with Uncle Dan. Come on, John, I don't ask for much, please.
Yeah, put me standing on the Emancipation Proclamation or something.
Right.
I don't know.
I will be squatting and taking a deuce on whatever document you need.
Well,
exactly right. The Louisiana Purchase.
I'll be looking.
Well,
I'll
Doug,
be looking, gazing on joyfully at the Teapot Dome scandal.
Well, Doug, this has really been a terrible use of our time.
Yes. Let's quickly move on before another painting happens.